Hello again, it's Noob, and well, today we're going to have a look at the Sparrows Chaos card. The Sparrows Chaos card was the first ever credit card pick set that I'd ever seen. I'd never come across one before until I saw this. Now, I don't think Sparrows are the first to ever do the credit card pick set concept, but like I said, it's the first one that I ever saw, and I thought it was so cool when I first saw this. Now, Sparrows did send me this one to have a look at, so that's really nice of them. And I thought, despite this being many years old now, the fact that I had never explored one, I thought was worthy of a bit of a video on it. So, first impressions, it's kind of cool, isn't it? You know, it's got all these little, I'm assuming laser cut things. This is SOS. You got a couple of little symbols, an arrow, a knife, the Sparrows logo, a spade, just things in the dead space in the card, just to liven it up a bit. So it's got that kind of unique look. Now, since this came out, clearly there's been a lot of other credit card pick sets which are, I guess, more aimed at giving you a comprehensive set of lock picks for pin tumblers. What still sets this Chaos card apart, its unique feature, its USP if you will, is the fact that it doesn't just concentrate on you know, lock picks for pin tumblers, but also for other types of locks as well, and bypasses. And I still think that this, well, it holds up pretty well today. Not only that, it's actually worth mentioning pretty early on in the review that you can still get this for about $16 US on their website, which is about £12. And that certainly puts it at the lower end of the credit card lock pick sets in terms of price, which is kind of cool. So what I plan to do in this video is, as I talk about an individual pick, I'll do an overlay video of me using it, just to, well, give you something else to look at other than my hands just waving in front of the camera. Right, so let's get started. First things first, this is a stainless steel. It's in 25 thousandths of an inch, which is really nice, and it feels pretty solid. If you look down in here, it's been, I'm assuming, laser cut all the way through, apart from a couple of tags on some of these pieces, and they are, well, they're actually pretty hard to get out. Not like super hard, but pretty hard. And I think it's a good balance between them not coming out in your wallet, you know, after it's been flexing in your pocket for a while, and also, you know, still being able to get the picks out. Some of them are a lot easier than others, and it's always good to start with things like this auto jiggler and the well, small wafer lock Rake here, just because they can pivot nicely like this. There you go, from the center, and again you can see that, so you can pivot them, you see, and pull them out, and then you can actually use what I think Sparrows refer to as the stabby tool. I like to get underneath the other picks to save your fingernails, and then you can lever these off quite easily. Right, let me just get all these out for you, and then we'll go talk about each one in turn. So there we go, everything is out of the main body of the card, and nothing is deformed, nothing is bent. Just take your time and you'll be fine. Where to start? Well, let's start with the pick tools. We only have one tensioner and two pick tools. Now, whilst that is a little bit limiting in some ways, the fact is that if you were going to choose any two pick tools, I think a lot of pickers would actually choose a triple peak like this and a short hook as their go-to picks, and they actually work pretty well. The short hook is quite a nice profile. You've got to hold it slightly differently than you would normally, I guess, by, you know, pinching between thumb and forefinger and then using your second finger to guide the pick, but the profile on this is just a really nice short hook, so it works perfectly well. The triple peak, again, it's just a classic shape, and like always, you get the right lock and this thing will whiz through them. Next up, and a really cool feature for the Chaos card, is a comb pick, and it's only small, but it really works particularly well. In fact, the fact that this is 25 thousandths of an inch thick means that it's able to get into a few more keyways than standalone cone pick sets, which are often a little bit thicker. Then we come on to the dual purpose tool. We've got this little wafer cabinet lock rake, if you will. It's a jiggler key, and that works really well, as you'd expect, in a lot of cabinet locks, like filing cabinet locks, things like that. The other end is known as the stabby thing. Now, it's got no sharp edge on it. It's not a blade of any kind, but it clearly comes to a point which you know, is probably about, what, 40 degrees. And yes, it is a bit stabby, especially if you're made of cardboard. But I found it's actually pretty good at opening packages and things like that. Next up, we have an auto jiggler. Now, I actually don't have a lot of automotive locks, but I had a look at this few that I had, grabbed one, and it seemed to work pretty well. I'm no expert, but yeah, it seems to be a perfectly functional auto jiggler, and well, that's really all I can say about that. And last but not least, and I'll freely admit it's the thing which first made me think this credit card pick set was really, really cool years ago when I first saw it, is this, well, it's like a half round handcuff key. I don't know how they do this. It must be like pressed out either before or after the laser cutting process, but it's so cool. You can see the profile there. It's, you know, it is 3D. It's quite slim, but it is 3D, and it does work so well in standard handcuffs. Very, very cool. So how do I think the Chaos card holds up after all of these years? Well, do you know what? I'm really glad I managed to get hold of one of these eventually. I think it's really cool still. It's got that cool factor, and you know, there are credit card pick sets out there which have more tensioners and more pick profiles for standard pin tumblers, but this still holds its own by having its sort of unique selling point of having lots of different types of picks and bypass tools as well. And you know, that's really cool. Plus, you know, it's the price for this is still really competitive, I think, and yeah, I'd happily have one of these, a little backup set to have, you know, in my wallet. It's really, really cool. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. This is a, you know, a classic pick set. Have you owned one? Have you used one? How do you think it holds up to, you know, newer credit card pick sets? Let me know in the comments. Really interested to know your thoughts. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.